One Quebec political party has finally dared to stand up against Alto fast train project. Will others follow?
Today, I'm announcing the launch of Alto, the largest infrastructure project in Canadian history.
The $90 billion Alto project is another example of a ridiculous pie-in-the-sky liberal spending initiative that only got worse under Prime Minister Carney.
Est-ce que le gouvernement va mettre Alto sur pause puis lui dire de régler ses problèmes d'acceptabilité sociale au lieu d'intimider les gens chez eux?
On Thursday morning, Parti Quebecois leader Paul St-Pierre Plamondon announced that if his party forms the next government, Quebec would withdraw from the Alto high-speed rail project. And without Quebec, this project might simply fail. And frankly, it's about time a politician was willing to question this project. In his statement, Paul St-Pierre Plamondon argued that Quebec is facing a historic deficit, that our infrastructure is falling apart, and that at some point, governments have to make choices. He says every dollar spent should first go towards the core responsibilities of government: healthcare, education, and public safety. And honestly, it's hard to disagree with that. The PQ leader also argues that several studies suggest the high-speed rail project will do little to reduce road congestion while exposing taxpayers to enormous financial risk. And when you look at the numbers currently being discussed, there is reason for concern. Last May, Bloc Québécois MP Jean-Denis Garon warned that based on documents and studies he reviewed, the total cost of the project could climb as high as $200 billion. $200 billion! That's far cry from the project Canadians were originally sold a few years ago. And that's before factoring in expropriations, impacts on farmland, businesses that could be affected by the route, and all the other costs that typically come with government mega projects. Meanwhile, Via Rail already exists. Yes, the service is often delayed and far from perfect, but it is already there. And increasingly, people are simply choosing to fly when traveling long distances. Paul St-Pierre Plamondon estimates Quebec's share of the project could reach roughly $40 billion. To put that into perspective, Quebec's infrastructure maintenance deficit is estimated at around $45 billion. In other words, our roads are deteriorating, our schools need major renovation, our hospitals are falling apart, yet we are supposed to invest tens of billions of dollars into a brand new train project? That's where his argument makes sense, but that's also where the contradiction begins. Because if Paul St-Pierre Plamondon is willing to oppose the high-speed rail project because of Quebec's financial situation, why does he continue to support the Quebec City tramway project? The tramway is now estimated to cost around $12 billion, and that's before the inevitable cost overruns. We are also talking about a project that remains highly controversial, could have a major impact on small Quebec businesses, and follows a route that is already served by an existing bus network. In his statement, the PQ leader argues that Quebec has neither the luxury nor the interest to participate in a project that could cost as much as $200 billion, particularly if its primary purpose is to advance the federal government's nation-building agenda. So if I understand correctly, when Ottawa wants to build an expensive transportation project, it should be opposed because that serves the independent movement agenda. But when Quebec wants to build an expensive transportation project, that's different. Why? If public finances are truly the priority, then the same standard should apply everywhere. And that said, I would give Paul St-Pierre Plamondon credit for one thing. He is one of the first political leaders in Quebec to publicly challenge the high-speed rail project. That takes political courage. Now, we will see whether he is willing to apply the same logic to Quebec City's tramway project.
Je trouve que si le fédéral ou le gouvernement du Québec ont des sommes à mettre dans de l'infrastructure, ça doit être sur des projets vitaux, des projets importants, urgents.
Non seulement on est d'accord avec la position du Parti québécois, mais on pense aussi que le tramway de Québec doit être mis sur la glace pour exactement les mêmes raisons.
A payé 90 milliards de dollars pour un TGV qui va détruire des fermes au Québec sans consulter les agriculteurs. Pourquoi le premier ministre sacrifie-t-il les régions du Québec pour un autre éléphant blanc libéral?
If you are affected by either the Alto high-speed rail project or the Quebec City tramway, contact us. And if you have information, documents, or testimony regarding either project, send us a tips@ribbonnews.com or alexandra@ribbonnews.com. Thank you for watching. It was Alexa Lavoie for Ribbon News. This whole project is not transparent. We want transparency. We want to know everything regarding this mega project. If you agree, go over don'tgetrailroaded.com. It's don'tgetrailroaded.com and go and sign the petition, and we will deliver to the government to make sure that they are divulging every information that the taxpayer should know.